Most embarrassing story you have, don't be shy. It was the worst kiss I've ever had in my life. I can't believe I'm telling the internet this story. Oh, I don't want to say in case she watches this. He told me he loved me. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a brand new video. Welcome back to a little mukbang video. I feel like I've not done one of these like sit down videos, like chatty question videos in ages, so I thought I would do one, and I'm also lacking inspo videos at the moment, so if you have any other suggestions do leave them down below. And yeah, I just thought I'd do a little mukbang. Oh, rude. So yeah, today's video is going to be a little mukbang. I wasn't really sure what to actually like eat because I was like, do I have to get a takeaway? But then I was like, no, I don't have to have a takeaway because basically I had a McDonald's breakfast for breakfast this morning, and I don't really want to spend loads of money on like a Domino's because when it's not on offer it's actually quite expensive. So I just picked up some random bits from Tesco's. I've got some curly fries. I've got some mozzarella dippers, some prawn toast, and some veggie dippers that were also in my freezer. And I've also got a little gin. So yeah, I'm just going to answer a few questions with you guys. I answered on my Instagram for some questions, so make sure you go and follow me if you want to get involved with future videos like this. And make sure you subscribe down to my channel down below so you don't miss any more videos. And I will see you guys. What am I saying? And without further ado, let's get into the mukbang video. I just need to eat some mozzarella first, sorry. So I've got the questions on my iPad. If you're new here, then you might not know that I film on my phone. So I've got some questions. I've got quite a few questions, quite a few little random questions. I love that. I love a little random question. Sorry, I'm just so hungry. I need to eat. This is the only issue with these kind of food videos, is that I like to you know, like sit and like eat. Like, I'm not really a grazer. Like if I'm gonna sit down and eat this food, like I would sit in here and eat it all in about 10 minutes. So the first question is, worst song of all time. See, when I saw this question, I thought I'm really boring because I like a lot of music that people would say is bad music. I like cheesy music and things like that. So yeah, a lot of songs that people might say is like a really bad song, I would probably listen to it. I don't think I can really answer this fairly because, like I said, like I like music that other people might consider to be really bad. Personally, I don't love like rap music, or, well, it can depend what it is sometimes. So there's some music that's literally just talking, that's not for me. So yeah, I can't really think of a specific song that I would say is the worst song of all time. The next question is, favourite scene from a movie. I'm trying to think, what are my favourite movies? I can't think of what my favourite movie is. I'm quite easy, like, I watch anything, but I'm not one of those people that will literally rewatch a movie loads of times. Like, I'll rewatch a movie like a few times maybe, but I'm not like one of those people that's got a go-to movie that is like their comfort movie. I don't know, I can't actually think of a movie that is my favourite. I'm just pretty easy. And I love a good like rom-com scene, so, you know, or like a happily ever after, yeah. Most embarrassing thing you've accidentally sent someone as a message. I was trying to think what I would think for this, but one's just come to my head. Let me just eat my chip. So I can think of this one time where, oh, I don't want to say in case she watches this. Oh no, I don't think she will. I had an old friend from school, which I wouldn't say I'm friends with now, but like kind of acquaintances now. Like we still say hello and stuff. We live like quite local, so like if I see her, I would say hello, but I wouldn't really say we're friends anymore. Not because we fell out or anything, we just kind of grew apart. I remember this one time when we must have been quite young, maybe about 14 or 15, and we had a group chat for something that me and my friends were going to, and we hadn't added this girl into this group chat. And I think I remember saying something, or we'd said something in this group chat, and about her, and then me being a complete twat, I completely forgot that we'd spoke about this before, and we were planning this thing we were doing, and we invited her, and I was like, oh, I'll add her into the group chat. So I did. I added her into this specific group chat, and she scrolled up and saw all the messages. So that's the first thing I think of that's like a very embarrassing thing. Like, the most embarrassing thing I can think of is like that in like that kind of context, but like I don't think I've ever sent any like photos to anyone that I didn't mean to. Not that I send loads of photos, but you know, I don't think I've ever done that. And if I don't know, have I done that? I don't think so. I've probably been close to and then gone, oh shit, don't want to send that, but I don't think I have. Favourite hot drink? My favourite hot drink at the moment is probably just a typical latte, but I am into iced lattes at the moment because it's nearly summer, so I drink a lot of iced lattes. Hot drinks. Actually, my favourite hot drink has got to be a cup of tea. Yeah, at the moment I would say a cup of tea because I all year round have to have a cup of tea in the morning, at least a couple of days, so a hot cup of tea. Typical English cup of tea, no milk, sorry, cup of tea, milk, no sugar. I have soy milk now, so yeah. These next couple of questions are so random, but I love it. Paper, metal or glass straw? Paper/metal/glass straw. I would say metal because that's the ones we have. I know a lot of people on like YouTube have a lot of like glass straws at the moment. Like that's like seems to be a thing. Like I see a lot of people drinking out like their iced lattes out of a glass straw, but I haven't got any. And to be honest, I think I was like, oh, should I get some? But then Eva was like, no, Hayley, you'll just break them, and that's very true. So metal ones are good because they don't really break. Paper ones are annoying because like when you get the McDonald's paper straws, they're just so hard to drink out of. Like once they start to like go soggy. Yeah, so metal all the way. Next one, again, very random. Do you prefer drinking out of a glass, mug or bottle? I'm really not fussy. If I'm in the house, I'll probably drink out of a glass. And obviously it depends what I'm drinking. If I'm drinking like a cup of tea or coffee, it's probably a mug. But I do all of these. I always take, if I'm going out somewhere or if I'm going somewhere for the day, I will take a bottle of water with me. I do quite like to drink out of a bottle of water because it encourages me to drink more water. So yeah. What piece of cutlery do you use most? Again, very random. Oh, that's crispy. I'd say probably a fork. My mum would like me to say that I use both because that's the proper way that I was taught to eat my food. But probably a fork because if I'm eating like pasta or something like that, I don't always feel like I need to have a knife. Probably a fork. So the next question is worst Christmas present you've ever received. I can't think of a specific present, but I think I've said in videos before that my grandma is one for buying very random gifts. So probably something my grandma bought me, but I don't really want to be like it's the worst gift ever because I am grateful for everything she gives us and she does put a lot of thought into the gift. So yeah, I don't think I've really ever had any that are awful. I mean, sometimes you get things you don't particularly want or need, like little jewellery bits, or not that, some jewellery is nice, but other things that could be a bit tacky. I don't know, but like I say, I don't want to really be like that's the worst gift because I am grateful for all the gifts that I do receive at Christmas because they don't have to give me those, and I am grateful for that. Okay, so a bit of a fitness question. Weights or cardio? I definitely would say weights now that I'm into my weightlifting and doing my Beyond app. I really enjoy lifting weights. Yeah, weights. I don't hate cardio, but at the same time, there are days where I'm not really in the mood for cardio, so I definitely prefer weights over like a HIIT session. And on the same line about fitness, favourite thing to train, I would probably say like legs or like booty. I do really enjoy training like my lower body, getting into those different kind of like squat, like hip thrusts and doing things like that, and like I think it's definitely helped my confidence a lot, lifting heavier weights. But I also really like upper body too. yeah, I'd say lower body, like beauty. Yeah. Okay, so the next question is pet peeves about each other. I don't know if she means Eva or James. So I'm going to go with James. Obviously, James isn't here to tell you his pet peeve about me, but I'm going to guess. So my pet peeve about James, the one I can think of off the top of my head, is that he is a proper football fan. Like, every Saturday is football day, and the football place isn't even open yet. I dread to imagine what it's going to be like when he can actually go and watch football for a whole day. He'll be like, football day with the lads, and I'll be like... So that's probably my pet peeve about him, is that on a Saturday he's quite unreachable. But that's not true. We still talk, but obviously Saturday is his football day, and he doesn't work on Saturdays either because that's football day. And I'm trying to think what I think James' pet peeve would be about me. I don't know. Like, I'm amazing, obviously. Like, surely he doesn't have a pet peeve of me. I think there are two things that I can think of off the top of my head. First of all, my YouTube. Not that he doesn't support that. He does. He's very supportive about that. He's not keen on being in my videos anytime soon, but he is always very supportive. Like, every now and again, he'll be like, "Oh, you're doing amazing! Like, you're like the other day I saw him and he was like, "You're nearly at 800," and I was like, "Yeah, go me." So the only thing I can think of is maybe that I talk about YouTube a lot. Or one that made me think, that I thought of, that made me think of because when I saw him today, is that I guess we have quite different personalities, which I guess kind of works. So we went to the shop earlier, and I'm just a bit crazy, you know me, and it was quite quiet in there, so I was just like taking my time, having a little wander, and there was some music playing in Home Bargain, so I was like having a little dance down the aisle. I was like, woo! I think James finds that a bit embarrassing. I'm like, I'm gonna dance if I want to dance, but I think that's probably his pet peeve about me, is that I just do what I want and I don't really care. I don't care what people think about me, whereas I think James cares a bit more than me about what people think. So yeah. But James, I'd love to know if you do watch this video. If you do, comment down below what your pet peeve about me is, because I'd love to know. I've nearly finished my food, guys. Right, I'm gonna answer some more questions. What are your future goals? I feel like I've answered this quite a few times in like past videos, but my future goals at the moment are just to be happy. I don't have specific career goals. I've got my goals for my YouTube, like I said before in like my YouTube Q&A video. So YouTube goals, just be happy really. I don't have any specific like career goals that I'm not really, like at the moment I'm just working in a pub, so I haven't got any goals for the future, for like plans to what to do yet. So yeah, just keep being happy and enjoy life and YouTube. Okay, most embarrassing story. I feel like I've got another question a bit like this. Let me just check. So I do have two questions that are the same. So most embarrassing story and most embarrassing story you have. Don't be shy. So I'm trying to think of my most embarrassing story. If you know me, you know I have a lot of embarrassing stories, but I embarrass myself all the time. So I'm also very bad at remembering things. So when I think of things, I think of like two different scenarios, and that's all I can think of really. I'm trying to think if I've actually told this story or not. There was a time when I was younger with my friend Izzy. There's been two times where I shat myself. I feel like, have I spoke about this? I feel like I have. I think I have, but both times I must have been about 13 or 14. So quite old really. The first time, actually I must have been a bit younger, I must have been about 12 this time. When I was younger, we used to have like a field, but the field's still there, a field behind my house, and in the middle of the two fields there was like some hedges, and in between the hedges there was like, we used to always, like, I say play, like we used to like hang out in this little section because it became like, it was like under trees and there was like a walkway, so we used to always go and hang out in this section in the field. And I was there with my friend Izzy one day, and I remember saying to her, like, Biz, That's her nickname. I was like, I need to go to the toilet, like I really need to go to the toilet. And she was like, yeah, in a minute, because like my house is only like it was only like a few minute walk back. But yeah, I actually kept being like, yeah, in a minute, and I was like, Biz, I need to go to the toilet. I was like, yeah, in a minute, and I was like, I really need to go to the toilet, like I need a poo. I can't believe I'm telling the internet this story. And then long and short of it, she didn't realise how quite desperate I was. I didn't make it back to my house. We were going back and I must have been like a minute from my house. I shat myself. And the other time, with the same friend, I think I was away with her family on holiday, and we went to a water park. And I remember going on this big drop slide, like one of those like water park slides where it's like a straight down slide. And the slide was so much of a drop that my body was like in so much shock. Well, not shock, but yeah, basically I shat myself on that as well. But it was like a little nugget, like not like a full on like shat myself. I just like, I tensed so hard when I went down the slide that a little bit of poo came out. Those are the embarrassing stories that I can think of. There's probably more. And if I was with my friends, they could probably tell you about 10 more stories, if not more. But I just got a very bad brain. If you had to describe your dream partner, how would you describe them? Obviously I have a boyfriend, so this is a bit of a hard one to answer because I don't really want to offend him. I don't think I have like a dream partner. I mean, everyone's always like, oh, tall, dark and handsome, but I've never really gone for that. I've always felt like I've gone for like gingers more than dark-haired people, but now I'm with someone that isn't dark-haired person and it seems to be going well. So yeah, I've never had a specific like type. I'm not really like that. I don't have a dream partner in my head. Like, I'm not like one of those people that's like, oh, they have to be tall, they have to be over 6 foot, they have to have dark hair, they have to have abs. Like, I don't care about that. I just want someone that has a good personality and I get on well with. And James is that. So that's cute. What's the worst date/boy experience that you've had? I've had a few, but I try to think back because it feels like so long ago. I've not dated since the beginning of 2020, and then I met James in the March. I've had some I've never had any awful ones. I remember this one guy there's a couple I could think of. I went on a date with one person and we went to Carluccio's, the Italian, and their tables were like this little metal circular tables with like quite thin, what's it called? Yeah, the table was quite thin and it had like a little circular bit on the bottom. So like quite a small circular table. I remember putting my foot on it and I like nearly knocked the whole drinks over. I didn't, but that was embarrassing. I've had a few embarrassing stories. Trying to think if there's been anywhere I've been like, get me out of here now. There's been a few where I've been like, you know, like get out the door now, like, or like I've left and I've been like, fucking like thank God for that, but I can't think of any off the top of my head, but like the worst. But there is another question on here that is, what is something weird that's happened in a date? Oh, I know something weird that happened on a date. One person, I'm pretty sure someone told me they love me. Who was that? Oh my God, yes. So this is my weird / worst date boy experience, okay? So I was dating this guy. Let me move my tray out of the way because we're done with it. So my worst date experience, guys, I went on a date. This is like at least a couple of years ago, a few years ago. I was dating this guy. We've been on 2 dates. We messaged quite a bit. I can't remember what his name was, but I'm not going to say his name anyway. Let's call him, what should we call him? Brad. Let's call him Brad. So I've been dating Brad we went on 2 dates and like we went on 2 like meal dates, you know, out for dinner, and it was all going okay. I was like, oh, he seems quite nice. He was foreign, not that that's anything related, but so yeah, the 3rd date he was like, do you want to come around my flat and we can have like a chilled evening? And I was like, yeah, okay, that sounds nice. Like, I've been on 2 dates with him. I felt like comfortable enough that was okay. It wasn't okay, guys. Make sure, like, be careful. Like, this taught me, this story taught me to be a bit more careful, because, and not just to be like, yeah, I say that, I probably wouldn't learn from it, but, so I went round to his flat, and he was like, oh, should we put a film on? He put this like really weird film on Netflix, and I didn't really, it was really strange. And then like he starts to kiss me, and I was like, right, okay. It was the worst kiss I've ever had in my life. Like, I didn't think anyone could ever kiss this badly, but it felt like he was literally pushing me. And then he started like to kiss me like on his sofa, and I ended up being like underneath him, cringe like, and then whilst he was kissing me, he told me he loved me. He told me he loved me, and I was like, fuck off, like, no way. Like, this is the third date we've had. You can't turn around and tell me you love me. So I was really freaked out. I can remember straight after that, and he wasn't even a good kisser, so I was like, it was literally a couple of minutes, and I was like, no, I'm not vibing this. I don't want this to go any further, and you know, if I'd have stayed there, you know what would have happened, and I didn't want that to happen. So I remember sitting up on his like sofa, and I remember saying that I didn't feel very well. I was like, oh, I don't, all of a sudden, I think earlier on that week I'd had a cold, so I was like, oh, I'm not feeling very well again. And I basically like got out of it. I'm trying to think if I rang someone to like fake call someone, but I don't think I did. So yeah, I basically just said I wasn't feeling very well, and I got out of it. And I literally got out of there as fast as I could. Like, honestly, if you're ever in a situation like that, like, get the hell out of there, honey. Like, as fast as you can. I was like, not being here. And I remember going to the pub that I work in at the time, because I still work in the same pub now, and like, because I was trying to ring my friends afterwards and no one picked up, so I went to the pub and was like, spoke to my friend Em and was like, this just happened to me. I was like, oh, this guy told me he loved me. I've been talking for far too long, so I should round this video up. I've got a couple more questions and then we'll end the video. Name and shame a YouTuber you don't like. I don't know if I can actually think of any that I don't like. I don't think I'd really want to name and shame anyone. There's no one that I can think of off the top of my head that I specifically don't like. And if I didn't like someone, I just wouldn't, I wouldn't watch them, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have to name and shame them, be like, I don't like you. Yeah, I can't think of anyone that I specifically really don't like. Dream collab. Oh, dream collab. What would my dream collaboration be? Probably be something big, like, or like, at the moment, something like working like with a brand like lounge underwear or something like that, like a decent brand. And then obviously it would be amazing to do something in the future like fashion related or something like that, like, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. But that would be amazing. So what's the youngest / oldest you would date if you were single? Okay, so I'm 24 next month. So the youngest that I would date, I've never been that fussed by, like, I'm not too, some people are like, oh, I'll never date younger than me. I have before, and it didn't really end very well. So that did put me off dating someone younger than me, but I wouldn't rule it out. I think the youngest I would date is like 22. And I think the oldest is like 30. James is 28, 29 this year, so I don't think I'd date any older than 30 at the moment, because that's like a 6-year age gap. I think that's not that anything longer than that is wrong. And also if I met someone and they were like 35, then I'm not saying I would never rule it out. If I met someone, I have met someone. Honestly, my brain, I'm not single. So yeah, I'd say 22 or 30. James asked this question: what's the one meal containing meat that could test you when it comes to being a vegetarian? Ooh, good question. To be fair, I've actually got so used to being a vegetarian that there's not too much that I think of. I love like a bit of chorizo, or I very nearly a couple of weeks ago had a chorizo and prawn linguine at the pub. But then they didn't have, there were 3 of us that wanted it, and they only had 1 portion left, so I let my dad's girlfriend have it. Maybe like a steak, because I did used to love, when my pub that I work at, they used to do like a steak night. I used to have love having a steak and Stilton sauce and chips, or like a gammon steak with Stilton sauce. So probably something like that, like a steak, a good steak with some Stilton sauce or some peppercorn sauce, I probably would say. What is one thing you couldn't stand in a person? This is hard. One thing that I couldn't stand. You know what I can't stand is like people that are always, like I know people do say this and it's not like a, I say it in a jokey way, but people when I was younger, they're all older people that would be like, hun, hun, hun. Like, I know people say that now and I haven't got an issue with that, but I used to find that really like snobby when I was younger, like someone was looking down on you and calling you a hun, like you like hun, you know. I say it in a jokey way, I'll be like huns, you know, but something like that, or someone just being like too big-headed or too big in their boots, I don't know. But it's hard because sometimes I think like confidence can be kind of seen in the wrong way. Like I'm quite confident and I hope that doesn't come across in like a cocky way, but yeah. If you had to take only 3 things on a desert island, what would it be? Ooh, is it really bad if I say my phone? That's really bad, isn't it? I probably would take, but then I wouldn't, if I took my phone, I'd have to take a charger and then I'd only have one thing left. You cannot take a phone charger to a desert island, Hayley. You couldn't charge your phone on a desert island. I can't cope with myself. I wouldn't be able to charge my phone on a desert island. I don't know, you'd have to take things that were like practical, wouldn't you? You'd have to really think it through, like 3 things that would really be useful to take with you. Like maybe, I don't know. That's a hard question. My brain can't do that. So those are all of the questions, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I need to actually go and edit this now and try and cut it down because I've got 40 minutes of footage, which is fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe down below, and make sure you leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of the video. And if you want to see more kind of mukbang chatty videos and more maybe like reacting videos, so I do really like doing these kind of videos, and it just feels like I haven't actually sat down and filmed a proper like sit down video in ages, so it's reminded me how much I enjoy it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys very, very soon on Monday for a new weekly vlog. Bye guys.